Hey everybody, Alex Miller at Capnion here. There are a number of stories out today about OpenAI all competing for oxygen with each other, and I advocate maybe reading the whole newspaper and considering them together. And in this video, I'm going to try to do that for you. The narrative I often see in recent events surrounding that company is that they're always hemorrhaging their research scientists and more technically oriented people. They look much more like a business commercializing an existing technology and much less like a research organization that you should wait around to release a qualitatively new AI breakthrough. And I'll talk more about that at the end. I think it's really worth going all the way back in time to discuss OpenAI's founding, its history, and then some of its ups and downs around its weird governance and incorporation structure. So it was founded, excuse me, as a not-for-profit research laboratory, and it seems like it may have done some of its best work from a research standpoint in that era. Over time, they raised lots of money to support heavy-duty computing they were doing and other things. And the past few years, if you've bought something from OpenAI, you were buying it from a for-profit subsidiary of a not-for-profit, which is very unusual. And there's a lot that's bad in it, potentially. You may recall a few months ago, Sam Altman was briefly pushed out as the CEO of OpenAI in a bit of a boardroom brawl, and nobody knows exactly what that story was behind the scenes, but it's very easy to see the shadow of the weird governance situation in that he's trying to commercialize a technology at a for-profit subsidiary, yet the people governing at the top are the board of a not-for-profit that have other mandates they're supposed to be following. So that brings us to present day. One category of story that's out is that OpenAI has been working towards reincorporating in some way as a for-profit public benefit corporation, which has a dual mandate to do good but also earn profits. This is a pretty new kind of thing. It's probably better than a for-profit subsidiary of a not-for-profit, but not a very battle-tested type of legal entity. It's reported that Sam Altman might get a 7% stake in this new reincorporated for-profit company, and this is generally regarded as good corporate governance practice. If you like OpenAI, you don't like that it almost imploded in a boardroom brawl, and that the CEO now has some equity. Maybe you hope that that provides some stability because he now has a concrete say in the board meeting and not just kind of like an employee at the mercy of the whims of the board. It's a lot of money as well that they're implicitly paying him. Meanwhile, OpenAI is always hemorrhaging its research scientists and technical people. So just in the past 24 hours, I believe the CTO, Mira Murati, announced that she was leaving, as well as Chief Research Officer Bob McGrew, and a few others. I don't really have time in this video to get into the details of everybody that's leaving. It tends overwhelmingly to be people that are doing research and not the CFO, for example, who has a job very similar to the CFO at another company. So altogether, OpenAI is always making these moves to be more of a business. It's always losing its more researchy people. That's not necessarily bad. It's funny, the phrase to me, for profit in this conversation, that OpenAI, for all its shininess, is very wildly unprofitable. And it's an interesting question what the road to profitability would look like for them. They've had to raise tons and tons of money to keep doing the things that they're doing. And thus far, it's gone well. I think you should worry if you perceive, as many people do, that fundraising success depends on making cool AI breakthroughs because they look less and less like an organization built to do that. So I would note they released an exciting new model, Strawberry, recently. That was an implementation of an academic paper, as I understand. And not that these things are easy, but it's not qualitatively new, hot research they were doing internally. My take is definitely that it's incremental progress, and that's still great. But is it exciting enough to continue to be the darling that's able to raise tons and tons of money? Also, at some point, this hemorrhage of talent is bad on this ground as well, in that not only are these people not doing work at OpenAI anymore, they're going other places to do possibly great work. So Anthropic is another startup that produces LLMs, and it's pretty much a colony of alumni from OpenAI. Ilya Sutskever was a very prominent research scientist, one time on the OpenAI board, left the company following the boardroom scuffle I mentioned. Deep off the front page of the newspaper, behind all this other OpenAI drama, is that his startup, Safe Superintelligence, raised $1 billion, and they're going to work on doing that kind of hot, new, and different AI breakthrough. So I don't know that I'd say I'd worry about OpenAI. There's still a market leader, but to the extent you think that they need to keep doing hot new research flavored things to keep raising money, and they need to keep raising money to survive. If you want to worry, I think it's very clear in what way you should be worrying.